San Diego Unveiled is a talk show solely for women.
It represents women from all over San Diego.
They come to our show to express their love and passion for what they do.
It's just a lot of inspiration, and
our voices are often sheltered and shunned, but San Diego Unveiled puts volume behind us and lets us be heard and seen in ways that has never been done in San Diego.
And welcome back to San Diego Unveiled. Today's guest uses reading, music, and just about anything to inspire her creative writing. Please welcome to the show Paloma Velaquez.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you
Thank
here.
you for having me.
So first, tell us what you do.
Well, I am a San Diego actor and writer from San Diego, so based in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with acting at a young age of 14. First play I did in 8th grade. And since then, I've just been acting as much as I can, anywhere I can. And writing is a little more recent, just like the past 5 years or so, but it's always been with me as well, wanting to create and write.
What kind
stories.
of pieces inspire you to do this kind of writing? Like, what do you focus on the most with your writing?
It really does vary. I just like different stories of humanity, of different walks of life. So a lot of different things inspire me. Like even sometimes just a random person I meet, I might become interested in like, oh, what's behind that, or
Their story.
what's behind their story, and then just playing off that, adding to it, or maybe a little exaggeration here and there to make it the drama of film and all, but.
So tell us
a lot
about
of things.
your most recent project called Run, right?
Yes, well, that's what the most final project that screened just last month at the Museum of Photographic Arts in Balboa.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Yeah,
place
it is.
there.
I
So
love
it's
it there.
really, really exciting to see it on that screen in
Right.
a very nice theater. And I grew up going to Balboa Park, and so like going with my parents and my sister was almost like coming full circle of like we used to
Right.
always go have picnics there, and now watching them
Something
coming,
that you created
coming to
that's
watch my
on
film
the
I
big
created.
screen.
Well, that one is I guess what you would consider a political thriller. The idea came to me with my cousin. My cousin Shelley Rowe is the star of that, and she had the basis of the idea, and then I played it off with her. We wanted to portray just very fierce characters.
What exactly
that's
is
really
a
hard.
political thriller?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like presidents or something.
Yeah,
Well, it is.
Okay.
It's about politics. It's about a man running for
nice.
Congress. So it is about someone running for election, and the main part is following his campaign leader.
Okay.
Which is a female campaign leader, which is very rare. There's not that. I mean, women in politics is rare to begin with.
Right.
In front
So
of
that's
the
probably a really big message that you were trying to.
a bit, yeah. Even though it takes it takes an ugly turn, which unfortunately often politics do.
Right. Yeah.
So it's definitely a play on that, on the ugly side of politics. But it was great to see this very just no BS type of character that's usually a male. Usually, for example, like something like House of Cards.
I like that show.
Oh yeah, great show.
Intense.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Very intense. Great show, and similar type of thing like Kevin Spacey's. No BS. Just not going to.
Right.
To allow anyone to interfere with his goal and his foresight, that type of thing, but a woman doing that, and people might, you look at it a little differently because you don't usually expect it,
Right.
I think, men usually can come off a little harsher, and then sometimes the women's more under the table, kind of getting
Behind
things
the
done.
scenes, yeah.
But she's like full force, like known as the go-getter, and don't mess with
That's
her
so
because it won't
cool.
go well for you, that type of
So
thing.
is this finished? Like,
It's
can it be
finished.
seen? How
It's
can
completed.
anybody see it now?
It's not up yet because we will be submitting it to festivals,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's not online. It's, yeah,
So
definitely.
we pretty much just have to keep following your
yeah,
wonderful
you just have to
path.
keep your eye out.
And then, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, keep your eye out for the name runs, 2 N's. Keep the names involved.
Right.
And
Do you have multiple projects that you've submitted before?
I have been a part, writing-wise, that's my first short film that I've written that's fully completed and out on the market for festivals. Thank you. It's very exciting, it is,
That is.
definitely, very exciting. But I have a few projects in the works, currently writing a couple different things, and I've acted in some short films for festivals like 48 Hour and 4-Point Film Festival.
Cool.
Yeah, I like doing those. It's fun because you have that time limit, so it kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So when you wake up in the morning, what's something that keeps you motivated to continue to write and just move forward with what you're doing?
Well, a big basis is just for myself, trying to keep positive, think positive, and, even if, something else is maybe not going so well in life, I just remember like, okay, but this is my focus, this is my goal. I want to act and I want to write and I want to make some great films that will resonate with people and stay, really stay with them when you go home and think about it, and whether it just really made you laugh or it struck a chord for some other reason.
Right.
And a big thing is my mom. She's always been hard worker her whole life. She's the eldest of 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kids. So she kind of became like a third parent in a sense in the household, especially the big age difference from her to her youngest sibling. So helping,
Pretty much like a mom to
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, exactly. She
Yeah.
did become that, and she began working and helping out her parents, and so she just been working really hard her whole life. And
Does she inspire you to not give up and
Yes,
stuff?
yeah, to
Because I
keep-
know how it gets
Right.
hard out
Absolutely.
there. And
Oh
so
yeah,
it's like,
yeah. It's not the easiest career choice
Yeah,
by any means,
right.
no. But
That's something you definitely have to stay motivated for.
right,
Yeah,
right. That's just what I
exactly.
remember. It's like, do I want to, work a job just because you have to work? No, I don't.
Right.
see, and
I
that's
want
what
to
sets
do-
you apart from someone
Right.
that's working and then someone that's passionate about something.
Yes, exactly. Like there's a lot of internet memes and stuff, and there's one I've read that's something about if you weren't going to be paid for whatever work you're going to go do today, would you still do it?
Right.
Most people would say no.
That's
Why,
deep.
Right.
Yeah.
Why am I going to go work at this store, or this office, or what have you? Because I don't enjoy it. You're not paying me. I'm not going to go.
And that's
So-
funny that you say that, because very recently I saw this video with Idris Elba, the
Yes.
London actor.
Yeah, he's great.
And he is doing this new thing now, I guess, where it's thriving on, and he did this, I guess, interviews with multiple people who were older, and he was like, he asked a simple question of, what do you want to do when you grow up? And these people have to be in their like 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're like, that's kind of funny that you asked that. I mean,
Right.
I'm already grown.
Right?
And they're like,
Yeah, no,
but,
yeah.
yeah. And the whole point was that you're always growing. Like, there's always room for growth.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so when you get older, what do you want to be? And
Yes.
so people have finally realized the answer to that question, and then he's helping them like achieve their dreams. And I just think that's so cool that you realize that it's not the end. You know what I'm saying? You're
Definitely.
doing what you're doing now, but
Yeah.
you can always.
There's always opportunities
Exactly.
out there.
Oh, yes.
Like to add on to that, like
Yes.
with my aunt, she is really she's like a thriving nurse, and she's one of the highest paid nurse, and she still tells me, I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Like she's still just figuring everything out, because I mean, that's all what
Yeah.
life is.
Oh, yeah.
You never
Right.
know what's going to happen, and it grows onto you, and it makes you keep growing from that.
Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, people have a variety of options. I mean, there's so much you can do, and some people have interests in different areas, different fields. So why not if you have the opportunity, of course, which sometimes it's more difficult than others, but to really go for what you want and keep working at it. And that's something I've seen in the San Diego film community. There are a lot of actors that are older, and people when you look at Hollywood, you think like, oh, if you're over 21, you're just starting to
done.
go downhill.
Yeah,
right?
that's how I.
And it's no, and
I
that's
totally
a terrible,
understand, yeah.
that's a terrible
Perspective,
concept,
like,
right?
yeah.
Perspective, and
Yeah.
and so I see a lot of older actors are totally still going for it, and still going on auditions for short films, and they're doing commercials and different things, and I love that. It's really great, and it is inspiring for me, even because even at I just turned 27, and even for some people that's like, oh, 27, right? And like you're starting now, or you're like just getting into film now, or but no, it is all about just different people and whatever works for you, and when the time comes, it just doesn't matter. And there's actually a few other great things that I've seen. People post on Facebook and all of how like Morgan Freeman didn't get his first big role till about 50, something like that. So and he's one of the greatest actors, most beloved actors. So that's just how it goes. You can't think like, oh my God, I'm 40. It's too late.
It's like, I should have started acting in Disney Channel. I had to grow up being.
And actually, I had a big conversation with that about my cousin recently. We because she just turned 31, so we had a conversation about how you think like, oh, you have to start so young, and she told me, but think about it, like, there's all these Disney actors or maybe like a CW show or whatever. I'm sure those are fun, of course, and some of them are good and have talented people involved, but the adult roles are the really juicy, for the most part. There are some great good roles for younger people or kids, the ones that can really handle that. But the adult roles are the ones that you can really just like sink your teeth into. So
when you
I'm
were
looking
working
forward to
on
that.
your Run project, was there anything that maybe you found yourself struggling with, and then you came through on that?
Yes, actually, because politics isn't something that I'd really had thought about too much writing. It was more the opportunity came about, and that was how the idea developed. But that's definitely always like been the least of what has come to mind when it comes to story subjects or
politics. It's
different
like
things.
what?
Right.
Yeah,
But it's such a big deal right now.
Of course. Well, and that's why even though we actually filmed it about a year and a half ago, it was very fitting that it was screened recently, because that is obviously with the presidential election coming up. That's a big topic. So it was a little bit of a challenge writing in that perspective, and
Because it was out of your comfort zone. Huh?
right, writing for politics, and not necessarily getting a little darker, but like delving into the mind of a more almost like Machiavelli type of mentality of person, because that's so not me.
Yeah.
But that's also the other thing I love of acting and writing, is just putting yourself in completely different shoes.
You could totally be somebody else.
Yes.
That's why I love it so much. It's like, I'm not lying, I'm just acting.
Right. So what about music? What kind of music do you listen to?
I genuinely like a bit of everything. I've grown up with music in my household. That's always been a big thing. Like for my dad, it was the Beatles was a big one. And then also like bossa nova and Sergio Mendes.
What about
Yes, I love
bachata?
that.
Is like the most familiar Latin music that I know. So I always be like, do you know how to bachata? Because I do. You know what I'm saying?
I don't actually.
But I like bachata music.
But so I grew up with a difference of like some like that Hispanic music, Latin music, and then some classic rock. So that's really stayed with me, and I'm a bit of a rock and roll girl. My main thing is variety of rock. I like indie alternative, classic rock, lots of bands with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
like
cool.
actually earlier when you mentioned of how like you never stop growing, that's something that one of my favorite vocalists and lyricists said in an interview, and that stuck with me. That
that's cool.
He's like 25 years ago, or when I was 25, I thought I didn't know anything, and now I'm 35, and I still I feel like I don't know anything again.
Right.
Like, I think that's just how
Just
it
the
goes.
different chapters you
never
go
stop,
through,
never stop
something
learning and growing.
Right.
So, and that's what I love about music. There's so much to it. There's so much you can find within it and variety. You know, you can listen to a really fun song and then you can listen
Oh, it
to
changes
a more
everything.
in-depth,
It changes
completely.
the mood. Like,
Oh, yes.
music speaks
Yes,
to people.
yes. More than anything, if I'm having a rough day, in a bad mood, certain songs, certain artists will pick me up more than anything
Yeah.
else, for
It's
sure.
the most universal language
Yes.
we have.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes. I love that.
Music,
I love
yeah.
that about it. Hmm.
Definitely.
It's very open.
Anyway, so Harriet Tubman.
Did you hear
Speaking of
about
politics.
Well, yeah, that's a good one.
Did you hear about the Harriet Tubman being
I
on
did,
there?
yes.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's a really great idea. I like
think
it.
so too.
Yes.
I think it's cool. It's something different. The world is always changing, like we were just talking about.
Right.
I can't believe they.
Right.
I think it's just crazy because
It was a little surprising.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Out of
know.
nowhere.
Right, I had no idea that was in the works, that they were thinking of changing the bills, let alone to someone that wasn't a president or more of a figure that people are accustomed to seeing on that
Right.
type of thing.
And then definitely when you think about it, it's almost surreal to realize, oh, we're about to have a black woman from our history be on a $20 bill when
Yes.
all you're used to are the other presidents. And
Yeah, all men and all white men.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
So this is like a big game changer.
Yes, yes, I like that. I mean, that's a big thing of today's world. Is big. There's changes, like you said, game changes everywhere.
Right.
You know, from things like the Target's policy on
Yeah,
on
I
transgenders
didn't
for
know what was
restrooms.
happening with it. Yeah,
All-
and then, until
even for that to be a topic of conversation and for there to be such a large majority that are for it and that are open to the different types of humans that are coming out
Right.
and saying, no, I've always been here, but now I can actually speak my mind.
It's definitely opening everyone's eyes.
Yes,
that
yes.
There's change.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, are you kidding, 50 years ago, it would have
Right.
been, I just...
Unheard of.
Yeah, completely, like, what? Just,
Right.
what? I mean, I don't think, most people wouldn't even have considered a transgender person a person. It would have been
Right.
like, I don't know about this
Right.
strange thing going on. It's
So you're okay with
Yeah.
this new policy?
I am. I mean, I think it's just a part of today's change. I do think it needs to be probably regulated so that it isn't taken advantage of. That's the
Right.
argument against
Yeah.
it, which I understand. Unfortunately, there are the sick people, the pedophiles or rapists or people that would want to take advantage of it and use it for their
and those
sickness.
are the ones that ruin the whole
Exactly.
like everybody's
Right.
It can
And
be
then
touchy
knowledge
though,
of it.
because there was one point that was brought up that a lot of people that even commit these crimes are people that you know. It could be your neighbor or
Oh, yes.
something like that. So
you really never know.
for
No, you
someone to
don't. No, you
necessarily
don't.
bring
No.
up the point of having the pedophiles and stuff, you may not even know that the person standing right next to you is the pedophile.
Yeah.
And that's the
very sad
crazy
truth.
part, right?
Yes.
I think that's where it comes to the point that that's what they need to think about as far as drawing the line on really passing this policy or not.
Right. I mean, that's the hard thing to regulate. It's hard to regulate that of who's someone that genuinely is identifying themselves in a different way or
Right.
someone that's just trying to take advantage. I mean, I guess that's just the gray area that, will have to be worked out. But I do think it's a step in the right direction.
I do believe that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's touchy, like you
Right.
said. It's difficult.
And
It's
it's-
not black and white.
It
Not
isn't,
really.
and it's gonna take people a lot of time to get used to.
That
Because,
too, yes.
Yeah, this world is definitely changing, and it's very drastic. Things happen like
yes.
this,
Yeah.
and I believe a lot of that is because of media, the social media.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
News travels instantly.
Right. Nothing's a secret for long.
Right.
Yeah. Everything will be posted about, talked about. People will send you links and you'll hear all about it in a second.
And I'm not one to even really comment or be on a certain side when it comes to the situation because there's so many different points that people want to bring
Yeah.
to the
Yes.
table that's like, oh, wait, you're right, but you're right too. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll just listen to you guys because, I I'm pretty open about the situation. I guess we'll just see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
So many people just feel so strongly about it that, I mean, you don't really think this way until someone brings it up, and then you're just like, oh, there's so many good points to it that.
Yes, I agree. I'm really good at seeing both sides of the story, you know, like I don't, you know, someone that could be against the policy, I don't automatically label you some sort of bigot or anything like that.
Right.
I understand that there is a lot to it. There's different things to be discussed, and I understand the concerns of parents and again of the unfortunate negative side of it, of those that would turn it into a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah, and that's how it is with everything. I mean, yeah, that's just kind of the world where, you know, that's evolving and changing and we're creating is there's gonna be some argument and difference of opinion. But I've just always
There's a lot.
well, yeah. But I've always been
Crazy.
big on just hearing everyone out, you know, hearing what
Being
your thought is.
open-minded.
As long as you're respectful about how you talk about it and how you bring up your opinions and thoughts, I think that's what matters.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's just go back to you really quick.
Yeah.
Personally, have you gone through any difficult times, maybe possibly being of a Latin descent?
I haven't, growing up in San Diego, I think it's lucky that I haven't felt any really strong discrimination for being Hispanic.
Right.
In different parts of the world, obviously, it would be different,
Yeah.
even different parts of the country. But in San Diego, it is such a big Hispanic community.
So you
and-
have a lot of support.
Yes, so
That's
I
good.
haven't ever felt discrimination directly for that. No.
So
It's
how
been
can
pretty
we follow you? Do you have Facebook or Instagram or anything?
Yes, I do have Instagram. It's ALA Dove, a la Dove.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, because my name means dove. Yeah.
That's,
Yes, so
cool.
that's kind
Clever.
of yeah. It's still I'm still like creating the professional page of Instagram, but you can follow me on there. You know, I have some pictures of my nieces and stuff. It's fun.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And then on Facebook, you
yeah,
are
Paloma Velasquez.
Paloma Velasquez. So we'll definitely be looking forward
Yeah,
to
thank you.
following your footsteps and
your
seeing what you
journey.
have to offer in your journey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you, guys.
being on the show with us.
Thank you.
If you like the show today or would like to be a guest on San Diego Unveiled, please contact us on our fan page at facebook.com/San Diego Unveiled.
And whether it's finding that thing to ignite your passion or landing a role in an award-winning film, always remember you are special and you deserve to be heard.
Have a safe and classy weekend, San Diego.
Good job, Paloma.
It almost got rough.
I know. So Harriet Tubman.
There was one moment.